And you're an artist. That's what you make your life doing. And so what inspires you in life, and how do you view various types of art, music, painting, interacting, and inspiring you for what you do?
Oh my God, you know, I do it for purely selfish reasons. I just simply need it. You know, I needed that. And now we just, you know, I'm studio-centric. In this place, I'm just paint all the time, you know, so now I have best of it coming right here, and I just happen having incredible acoustics. It's an incredible acoustics. It's completely special set, I don't know, combination of this incredible concrete pad that we have 7.5 inch with the height of the ceiling. I don't know. It's the best cello sound I've ever heard, really. You know, I'm partial, but violin, I love the way violin sounds here. Now we have this, with incredibly generous support of Steinway, we have D tonight. You know, I mean, it's the sound of that was so great, round and big, was sensational. So, that's how it happens. But another amazing thing, and that's absolutely right, what you noted, I think modern society compartmentalized too much. Oh, this is music. Oh, this is painting. Oh, this is literature. And then it starts compartmentalizing from that point on. So to the point of a salad. It's hyper-specialized fields. Crap. It's not that. It's never been that way. Arts are various ways to translate the truth of heart. And in that point, audience becomes part of that experience. They're sharing exactly the same impulses. You know, it's all part of the same. I think one of the big problem of modern, of the formal stage, which I'm a huge fan of all institutions, huge, I love, always go there. But I think structural problem is a separation of a performer and the audience. It's that two different worlds. And that's what we in the classical underground will break that. It's a complete interaction of a musician who is hanging out right there with, and the audience which is just completely interacting, and I think musicians picking up on that, and it's all inside of the painting. So that is where the arts meet. It's inside of the studio. It's inside of the working artist studio. It's surrounded by paintings, visual images in various degrees of completeness. So it's not, there is classical underground, it's not something that invites polished, final, you know, steroid form like what you get in the recordings. Yeah, it's great, but you get tired of that polishness. You want the immediacy of experience. When the guys, but that's it, that's where only musicians or artists of a certain level can allow themselves that level of freedom. You see what I mean? And it still would work. You know, any lesser of the musician of a lesser ability, it would never work. See, so that's why we're fortunate. We have these incredible musicians who can experiment and who try different things and who play almost to the point of free, you know, classical jam forms once in a while at the very end. And it always works because their level is so adequate, it's so unbelievably high. Art is always high. Art, I'm sorry, art is always the highest bench of what humanity can achieve. That's what art sets. That only the high art, really and truly high art, becomes fully understandable, because that is capable of capturing that language completely and to speak that language directly to the heart of the audience. See, that's why being fortunate like tonight to have this abundance of talent, that parade of talent, that was incredible. And always to showcase paintings. One of my always friends or artists that I respect and love, which I think, you know, visual paints, it's part of the classical arts. So all like in the last event, we showcased a poet, wonderful poet. It was so perfectly uncanny depiction of our current state of society. So that's, I think, to give that experience of living inside of art, because by default this is studio. It's process-oriented. You're inside of the space that emits art. It's art making as a cult. in a sense. That's what classical underground. And the music is part of that, and word is part of that, and image is part of it. All of it is part of that. So, and I think if we understand that it's inseparable in the life of society. Written word, spoken word, sound, image. It's all part of that same, that is essential. It's essential like blood. We need it. It's not decoration and it's not entertainment. There are different aspects that are decoration and that are entertainment. And this is great. You know, we live in completely aesthetically multipolar world. We still didn't come to terms with that. The fact that there is different ways of expression, it's fantastic, it's wonderful, we enjoy all that. I was just so impressed, it was one of the big kind of rap events, rap parties. And suddenly in the middle of this unbelievable, I mean, out of that I felt, I stepped out of that, I felt that I was beaten for 3 hours with a bat. You know, because the subwoofers, I mean, so but it was fun, it was incredible, but it was exciting. 5 people around that party came jumping at me, hugging me, saying that the classical underground, yeah, that kicks. I said, oh, here. So, yes, it gives something. Art standing on its own feels the important niche in our being. Purely in today's modern world. And I think that's to understand that. I think that is important and it's essential. And art, not as an entertainment, art not as a decoration, art is a quintessential form of existence of a human. That is undeniable part of humanity, I believe. It will always be alive. It will always be there, but in any way we can support it, we shall, I think.
Well, thank you for all the work you do in supporting classical music and all the arts, and we look forward to seeing what happens next year at Classical Underground. In fact, there is a potential of an exciting concert next week. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
You know, just again, it's in the ground. We don't know. We don't know, we really don't know, but hopefully there could be really wonderful, wonderful news and a great surprise, because all parties, everybody want to make it happen. Great pianist, Macedonian pianist, Simon Tripczewski, who is visiting in town and doing, I mean, he's wonderful. His recent records were just having just enormous rave reviews, sensation. And he's doing Rachmaninoff's first concerto with the Philharmonic. So, and now they're all trying to rearrange all the logistics for him to stay afterwards to play with us, possibly next Monday. So hopefully tomorrow, the day after, we should know for certain if that all the rearrangement of plan does happen, because then we would have this incredible experience to get this kind of performer, this level of performer, and to be able to again intimately hang out with that musician. But you know, that's what it's all about, to understand the music from the intimately personal level. And again, we're so grateful to Steinway that was amazing for them to kind of you know, help us to the point that we figured out the way to have that enormous instrument that we had tonight. And it's miracle. Art proves art, because see, art doesn't have any utilitarian purpose except for it just vital to life itself, right? Therefore, art is miraculous as life itself, unreasonable and miraculous. And everything that once art starts living on its own way, it starts happening these little strange miracles. You know, that's D over there is a one little miracle. If that would happen, Simon, which is very close, it would be another one wonderful, great little miracle. And if it does happen next Monday, so I hope you will be
Well, I'm
here.
sure there are many more miracles in store for you and for Classical Underground, and we look forward to following all of that. So thank you very much.
Guys, it's always great to have you. But the main thing, again and again, it's all about the intimacy of connection between the artist as a musician or painter or the man or woman of letters is the audience. That connection of audience and the artist is part of the process of art making. So whoever's hearing us and listening us, if that makes any sense for them at all, they're just as much part of this collective experience and process all at the same time, which is called art. And that's, I think, what we all celebrate.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.